Can y'all hear me now? I think you can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me now?
Can y'all hear me now?
I think you can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Can any of you hear me now? If you can, put one in the chat. If you can hear my voice, put the number 1 in the chat, please. Okay. So what I was saying is my daughter is on live now. She is the person in the chat named Amber. And what I was talking about is that all of this outrage, this fake outrage, whether it's okay to talk about kids. And I was trying to explain to my daughter, and I guess she didn't hear me, what was going on here on YouTube and the response to it. Basically, what's happening, and I'm going to run this through because I have my daughter and my nephew here. Amber, if you're still here, can you say yes? And Andrew, if you're still here, can you say yes? So if they're here or not, because it's some questions that I want them, my daughter specifically, to answer about when I was raising her and her brother. My daughter is 24 years old and my son is 32. When I was raising my kids, like I said, and I guess you guys, y'all, I'm not talking about them. Listen to what I'm saying. Okay. I'm not one of those YouTubers that are going to get into the back and forth. So if that's what you came for, you're on the wrong channel. Okay. I'm talking about kids here and how silly some of y'all sound with this fake concern. You're only concerned when it's your favorite YouTuber. You're only concerned if, here's the thing, if you're mad at that person, then it's okay. All right. But here's what I'm saying. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. When Five Babe's daughter was talked about, then that was wrong. And I saw Five Babe's video today, and she did not talk about that girl's child this morning. Now, if she's come back on since this morning, then that's a different thing. But I'm talking about in general. Y'all are not concerned about these kids because a lot of you subscribers, this is why I don't do this beefing here on YouTube. I got to where I am in subscriber count with my own content because a lot of y'all are messy. Y'all don't care about the kids because if you did, when you heard different people talking about whoever's child, you would check them if you really cared about the kids. It's not about the kids, it's more about the beef for y'all. That's what it is. It's more about the beef. So spare me with the fake concern because when it comes to the kids, and my daughter is on here and my nephew is on here, and they will tell you I love kids. So I don't care if it's Five Babe's child, if it's Heidi's child, if it's James Colwell child. I don't think it's right for any child to be talked about. But some of you out here do. You'll say, oh, but she said this. Oh, but she said that. This thing that y'all are saying here, you young people, because I don't know who, the age bracket of some of these people, but the comments are so immature that it makes me think that the people who are making the comments are not of a certain age. Because see, when you get my age, all of this sounds like a bunch of old silly mess. The reason why all this is going on is because it's all of this drama in this quote unquote sector of YouTube. It's all of the, like I said, I'm not getting into it. I said if. So whoever this VS Croyer is, I said all of the kids. It doesn't matter. The point I'm trying to make to y'all as subscribers is y'all need to think about what you go back and forth through all these chats and do. Like you're over here trying to explain to me different sides. I have eyes and ears just like you do. I know what I watched. I know what I watch when I go to Heidi's channel. I know what I watch when I go to James' channel. I'm 54. I've been out here a long time. Okay. So I know what I watch. The point that I'm trying to make is spare me with the fake concern with the kids because y'all are not concerned about these kids. Because, like a lot of you have clicked on these videos where they're saying all is fair in love and war, that tells me that it's not about the kids. You don't care. The reason why they're calling this sector of YouTube the Section 8 sector, the ghetto sector, I don't claim that stuff. It's because of things like this, because of how we sit here and we justify bringing kids into adult conversations. A lot of YouTubers are saying, remember when we were younger, our parents' generation, they protected us. They did not, if grown-ups were talking and we walked up, they would stop the conversation, ask us what we want. Now that's some parents, because some parents had told you before their friend came over or whatever, don't get in grown folks conversation when I'm talking, you stay out of it. And if you walked up after they told you that, they would slap the shit out of you. And y'all know y'all come from homes like that. If any people here try to act like when Five Babe's daughter walks up to the camera when Five Babe is on, and Five Babe turns around and tells her daughter to go back in that room like I told you to do before I started this life, that's abusive. You know what? Y'all need to quit. Because how many times have we gone to the grocery store with our parents, and as our mother is getting us out the car, she said, "Don't ask for shit. And if we get in this store and you ask me for shit, you're gonna get your ass whooped." Excuse me. We know our parents said that. How many times have, when we were growing up, we walked in and inserted ourselves into a grown-up conversation and may have gotten the shit slapped out of us? Y'all need to quit. All of this stuff that's going on YouTube now, it makes YouTubers like me not even want to get on live. Y'all, I don't normally get worked up. Y'all listen to my videos. Usually I am calm. But I'm sitting here watching all of this stuff going on. And sometimes I'm sitting here asking myself, where are the adults? Who's running the asylum? Have all the inmates or the people that are in the mental institution been let out of their rooms and they're running crazy through YouTube? I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Is it that we have such intent hate for different content creators? So anything, because we hate them, anything is okay? You know? So is that what y'all saying? I don't even watch Heidi's videos, y'all. I can't do her. Like I said, I'm 54. All that stuff, them wigs and crazy nails and all them glasses, that shit is crazy to me. I don't even see how a grown woman can sit up on camera with all that shit on her. I just really don't. So I don't do her. There are certain content creators that I watch, and then others I'll start off trying to watch you guys, and then after a while, I'm like, you know what? I cannot do that. But this thing where we are talking about kids, dragging people's kids, and then the one thing that I talked about, and I don't even know if my daughter is still in here, but I had wanted her to be in here for this part because she can answer this question. You know, y'all, they did several videos about how Five Babe's daughter didn't have 50 cents or whatever with the lunch and all that. Y'all, I did that more than twice, I believe, when my daughter was in elementary school. What it is, as a parent, we get busy with life. There's so many things pulling at us, jobs, our spouses, the bills, the running of the home, the this, the that. There's some things get lost in the sauce. And I'm here to tell you, if my child is still on here, she will tell you. There were two times that I can remember, on my own with this 54-year-old brain that I have, that I forgot to put money on my daughter's meal account. Did it fuck her up for life? No, it did not. My daughter just graduated from Bowling Green last May. This this thing that y'all do, have this stuff that is happening. These kids, when they grow up, they don't even remember it. I don't even know if my daughter remembers that the school had to call me and say, ma'am, your daughter came and she don't have any more money for her lunch. We went on and gave her lunch today, but you get that money up there or her ass won't be eating tomorrow. So when Five Babe that day was upset, hell, I'm a mother. I was like, well, I understand that, girl, because I done it. Why was that? Why was such a big thing made of, to the point that people were calling her a negligent mother? That shit sounds crazy to me. It sounds crazy. And then her turning to her daughter, shushing her daughter back in the room. And then I watched a couple videos where people said that every time her daughter comes out the room, she's yelling and screaming at her. You know, I watched it. I don't see her yelling and screaming at her daughter. Another thing, when I was raising my kids, you and nobody else would have told me how to raise mine. Because unless you were there feeding them, clothing them, and providing a roof over their heads, you didn't have nothing to say in how I was raising my child. As long as you didn't see me abusing them or them going without, then keep your fucking mouth closed. Because, like I said in that video I did, Fi Babe does not even come on every single day. We might see her every other day, every 2 days. And when she comes on, the longest video I've ever seen her do is maybe 2 hours. She's not sitting on here, 8 and 9 times a day, 2 and 3 hour stretches. But look at some of these parents, some of these YouTubers that have kids that are doing that. Look at them. How can you have your child come home from school, get dinner on the table, help with homework, get baths, get school clothes ready, and you're sitting on YouTube for the majority of the day? When my daughter and son when I was raising them, I'm getting off work 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. I'm rushing home, praying that I remember to put something out so I can have some meat to cook, helping with homework that half the shit I didn't even understand. I would tell my kids, look, I don't know what this teacher's talking about. The best I can do is help you read the directions slowly and make sure you understand what the directions are saying. But as far as what you're doing, see, I'm a real parent sitting here telling you that, okay, if my son is 32 and my daughter is 24, just say my daughter was in my house for 24 years. In 24 years, I didn't make mistakes. I'm sitting here telling you that I did. But I'm also going to tell you that I raised two productive citizens that are out here in the world making their way. You know, I don't know what's going on with our sector of YouTube. And like I said, and I guess y'all didn't hear this, I was just about to upload a video that I just did. And at the end of the video, I had included a picture of my kids in it. And even though my kids are the age that they are currently, I said, you know what? Maybe this is not a good idea because and I don't know if my daughter is on here, and I tell my kids that a lot of times I don't like them to watch me because this is a different part of me that they don't know. But the reason why I said I wasn't gonna include that picture is because these motherfuckers on YouTube are running rampant with this doxing, with this pulling up. And you notice I didn't say a specific name because this one person was in here saying, well, it's okay for this one to do. No, no, no. That's not what I said. I said these motherfuckers are running crazy, doxing people here, pulling up people's personal information. One current thing that is running through YouTube, somebody is gonna get hurt, y'all. Somebody is gonna get hurt. You cannot have this much confusion going. This is like a bubbling, boiling pot of mess. And eventually that pot bubbles over. We have seen so much in these last few months. And someone said, don't let them discourage you from continue to make videos. You know, I'm trying to find my way back to it to get that feeling for it. But here's the thing that I noticed. If you're not making videos about what's going on, you really don't get views. It's like people that are trying to do content about world events and entertainment, those aren't getting views. If you just pull up your subscribers and their videos, look at the names of the names of the titles. Look at what's in the title. And then look at the titles that are trying to veer away from the mess and how many views they have, and look at the titles with the mess. The thing is, people like mess. So when I put out a video, I just put it out there and I said, well, if they watch it, they don't, but this is something that I wanted to talk about. I probably will continue to do it every once in a while. And y'all, normally I don't even come in and do these lives because, first of all, you want to engage and be able to answer questions. If you're talking and trying to answer questions, you don't want to miss anything. But today, after I watched all of this stuff from all of these people out here, y'all, I'm a little bit older. I can't even understand, you know, what the big deal is. Why everybody is so just messy, as y'all call it nowadays. Why is it that we have events that people go to, and I guess since I'm on, I'll go ahead and talk about everything. Y'all, I'm going to talk about, since I'm on, I'm going to talk about Jay Wilson. Something about what happens in his chat that, as a middle-aged woman who's his age, that I don't think y'all getting what he's saying. Forget who he is. Forget what he does or what you believe he is. This is what I noticed. When I was in his video and he was saying that he doesn't care about what people say about him, he doesn't care. Here's what I get. I understand what he's talking about because when you get a certain age, you're like, oh, this is just some old mess. It really does not bother you. But you have people in his chat calling him a punk, saying he's weak, he's a coward, this, that, and the other. To me, the one that is the strongest is the one who can hold it in and not go there. When you are yelling, screaming, spitting all on the screen, um, cursing and all of that stuff, does that make you look stronger? Do you believe that? Or is it you're you're mature now and you say, well, you know what? I choose my battles. I choose my battles. And some of this is not necessarily age, it's maturity, because I see a lot of young YouTubers out here who are in their 20s, their 30s, well, for me they're younger if they're in their 40s, and they're able to balance that. They can have people coming at them and they will not get down in the mud with all of this stuff that's going on. Now, they may, remove the person from their chat. They may acknowledge that they see what the person is saying. But when I watch people over there in Jay Wilson's chat, I'm glad that he doesn't block them. I'm glad that he addresses each one of them. And I'm glad that he keeps his cool, because if I watched a young YouTuber say that there is no direction from the people that are in my age bracket. There is, but y'all don't listen. Okay, let me say that again. My kids included. We're trying to YouTubers like me. We're trying to tell y'all steer clear of all that drama. If you want positivity, start your own channel and block those other people out. Y'all ain't listening to us. Y'all don't want to hear what our old asses say. Y'all don't want to hear it. So we, after a while, we say, you know what? I'm not going to speak on it, because when you do, they attack you, they dox you, they do all this. We don't speak on it. You pay more attention to the ones that are steering you in the wrong way. My kids themselves, they listen to, now this is what I think of my kids. I'm their mother, so they're not going to argue me down when I'm trying to get them advice and cuss me out and all that stuff. I believe they listen because I'm their mother, and they take away from it what they want, and the rest they leave in my house. So even with them, I don't preach a lot at them. I let them make their mistakes, and then when they're ready for me to help them, then I'm there. I'm always there. I just say this because I'm not going to be on here all alone, because I don't do all this stuff. And I'm just disgusted, y'all. I'm just so freaking disgusted. And the disgust that I have is about this fake concern for kids. You saw that person who was in my chat a little bit earlier, BS Croyer or whatever. It says, so Friday can talk about Heidi's kid. I did not even say that. It says Heidi was not talking about James's child. Y'all, she was being shady. And James is a middle-aged man. He knows shade when he sees it. Y'all think we knew at this. Y'all knew at this. We're not. We've been through this when we were your age. All this shadiness and all this stuff, this is nothing new. We all have gone through this. And you know something else? The thing is, when you get our age, you'll understand why certain things that are said, it doesn't bother us. Because something my mother always says, we have more in the rear view mirror of our lives than we have in front of us. So picture what I just said. When we look into the rear view mirror of our lives, say me, a woman of 54, I got more years behind me than what I got in front of me. I'm not going to live another 54 years, you know? So the years that I do have on this earth, I'm not about to be caught up in crazy shit. I'm not about to be letting some young person upset me, have me, you know, on screen spitting and all that crap. But what I will talk about is it's not right to talk about anyone's kid. It is not right to tell another parent how to raise their kid unless you have some input into that child's well being, that child's education, that child's clothes on their back, the food in their stomach, and the roof over their head. Keep your fucking mouth closed. A lot of you don't even have kids. Let me tell you, when I look at my kids now, I cannot even believe that my job is done. My son calls me when I call his house and he sees my phone number on his caller ID. He's 32. He'll answer the phone, hello, smother, not mother, smother, because it's like in my head it's not over, but for them, my two kids, they're trying to tell me, mom, you did your job, you gave us all these tools to take out in the world, now we're out here trying to use them, but you keep bothering us, you know. I'm calling them. Boy, you didn't call me. It's been a week. Now, this man, 32 years old. If I don't hear from him in a week and a half to two, I'm about ready to call the police like he's a missing child, you know? So, how do you think me as a mother, would feel if some other person is telling me how to raise my kid? If if you're a parent you know that it's 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week, 365 days in a year. Multiply all that by 24. That's how many days that I spent with my daughter, teaching her, providing for her, being there for her. Then take those same amount of time and multiply that by 32, because that's how many years that I've been there for my son. Stop telling these people what they or are not doing right by their kids, because when they cut off that camera, you don't know what's going on in their house. You don't know what is the makeup. I even watch people tell the young lady, ask April about her walking around with her damn panties on. Do y'all know how many times when I was growing up I saw my mother's boobs? If my mother was in the bathroom and we getting dressed or something, and we, her kids, the four of us got to arguing, and my mother was in there getting dressed and just say she had only had on her pants, and we was out there cutting up, my mother would run out that bathroom with a belt. She didn't care if her breast was swinging, slapping up against the walls. She would run out the bathroom. For someone to make a big deal about this girl walking around with a bathrobe on and no panties, come on, y'all. What the fuck? The very same people who were in those other people's chat, co-signing all that. You mean to tell me you don't walk around your house without your bra? You ain't never walked through your house with your panties and sat down? Come on, y'all. Come on. It's like it's like YouTube has become this fake, or these people come on here and be fake. See, that's why I don't even get into the lives, because a lot of times these people who are on screen, see, when I am off screen, I can be my total 100% self. And I was thinking about starting to do videos, um where I come on screen. There, I do have a few that I have come on screen, but you know what? What makes me stop? Because when you listen to my voice, you're not looking at what's going on behind me, what I got going on in my house. I'm coming to you raw. I have to be engaging. I have to be um, honest in my voice, because you can't see anything but a black screen and this BS on here. This BS sign that I got. So you are listening intently to what I'm saying instead of worrying about what I got going on in the background. That's why I don't come on, because I feel that I am more honest with you when you are just focusing on what I'm talking about. You know, a lot of these content creators come on and stunt in front of y'all. They'll prop shit up and make it look like this, and then from what I'm saying, they got roaches running, uh people all in the background hollering out shit. You know what? Be be careful who you watch and what you believe, because a lot of these people are phony. And I sit back and I watch it, and I say to myself, you know what, I'm not coming out here like that. If I ever come on screen, the most y'all will see me phony on me is some wigs, some hair. And as black women, we all do that, you know? I just don't like, and then I'm gonna wrap this up. I just don't like this with these kids, y'all. If my daughter is still on here, she will tell you the one thing that anybody who knows me in my real life know is how much I love kids. I don't know what it is about me. Hell, I'm only about 4'11", so the average fourth grader is taller than me, but I love kids. I love kids so much. And I believe that I still have so much love for a child that I was even considering becoming a foster parent, because we have so many black kids in the system that no one wants, So I thought about doing it, you know, even to thinking about doing it to this point. You know how I said when I was raising my kids, I made mistakes, and I'm sitting here proudly saying it because those mistakes got me to be the 54-year-old woman that I am today. Well, another reason why I think I would love to be a foster parent is because all of the stuff that I've learned after having raised my kids, I want to, it's almost like I need another child to give all of that to. As as y'all say, My damn eggs are dusted. They're powdered. I don't have no eggs. I'm menopausal, y'all. It's over for me. So no other child will come out this womb. But I got so much love to give for kids. And like I said, all the people that are in my life know how much I love kids. So when I see what y'all do to the parents of these kids, when they may have a slip up on camera, cut the bullshit. We all know that when we were growing up, if we walked into a room and our parents were talking and we inserted ourselves, hell, some of us would get the shit slapped out of us. If we if they told us that, I'm doing this and don't bother me, y'all know how it was when we were growing up. What's different now, y'all? What's different? If a woman actually got busy in life and forgot to put money on a child's meal account at school, that right there makes her a negligent parent, to the point where several YouTubers did video after video after video on that whole mess. Do you know how stupid that looks to somebody my age? I was sitting here thinking, so we as parents don't make mistakes? See, that's the problem. A lot of our kids look at us and say, well, hell, you made a mistake. Why, you know, what are you talking about? That's why I try to be honest. And if my daughter is still on here, she will tell you whatever mistakes that I made when I was a young person, I, when they became a certain age, started telling them, this is what happened to me. This is the wrong mistake. I wasn't as smart as you when I was your age. I wasn't this, and don't make this mistake. I told them because I didn't want them to make the same mistakes that I did. But I didn't sit up and act like one of those people who are of a certain age and act like I never made mistakes, because what does that do for your child? Sometimes a person has to see, you know what? Mommy and daddy are human. They're being honest. They did this. Let me give you an example and then I'm going to get out of here. When my son was about 18, I think he was 18, he asked me, could he drive my car to an interview? And I wanted him to get that job. So I was like, yeah, you can drive my car, go get the job. But of course, being a young man, he not only went to the interview, but he went someplace else and he crashed my fucking car. He called me screaming and hollering so bad that I thought it was my daughter. That's how bad he was screaming and hollering. I asked him, was he okay? He said, yeah. He said he's on his way back to the house. Now, when he got there, I could have, when he walked in that door, ripped him a new one, screamed, yelled, hollered, and all of that. But what I said is, right now, this is a teachable moment. Because when he was driving home, he was beating himself up more than what I could have done, because he knew that I was a single parent. I had two kids, one child over here, one child going there, and how much that car meant to our little family. So when he walked in the door, I didn't say anything to him. I made sure he was okay. You could tell that he was scared, and he stood there for a minute waiting for me to say something. And I just said, "You can go in your room." He went in his room, and when he was walking around the house that evening, I made dinner, called him for dinner, and all that stuff. I guess he was saying, oh, "Okay, she just, she's building up to this big tell-off." Eventually, around 10, 11 o'clock at night, he stopped by my bedroom door, and he said, "Ma, go ahead and say it. Let me have it. Blah blah blah." And I said, "Scott, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it because you have beaten yourself up this whole day more than what I could ever do." I said, there's something called insurance. The car will be fixed. But what's going to happen is you are going to pay me back the money that it cost me to fix this car. So whatever, if I had a deductible, he was going to give me that money back. He got the job, so it was a good thing. But he was going to pay me my money back. To this day, my son does not understand. Like, he says he understands now, but he said he still is something about it. He doesn't understand why I didn't blow up. Sometimes when your child is down, it's not a good time to kick them. Once things cool down, let's sit down and talk about it. My kids, I asked them about me spanking them one time. I said, when you're growing up, because I was talking to some young women at work, and this is why I say I don't give advice, or I try not to give advice to young people because y'all don't want to hear it. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, because when I was young, I didn't want to hear it. But I always talk about my son and different stuff. So this young girl at work was asking me, well, Rachel, it seemed like your son turned out real good. You know, um, can you give me advice? And I told her, I said, you know what? Stop whooping him. Stop ruling him by fear. Because right now, her son is 8 or 9 years old. And yes, it hurts him when she whoops him. If you're ruling your son by fear, he's scared of you, especially if you're a single mother. As soon as your whoopings don't hurt him anymore, as soon as he's not scared of you anymore, you lost control. So when I asked my kids, I was trying to get them to remember how many times that I whooped them. Now, their daddy was an ass kicker. He was the whooper. I was not. I didn't like getting spanked when I was little. So I said, when I get older, I'm going to try not to whoop my kids. Now, I remember one time that I whooped my daughter. I do remember that. And I remember, I know that I had to whoop my son at least once, but he says he doesn't remember getting spanked, getting the actual where you pull out the belt and beat the shit out of him. My daughter, I do remember whooping her because she stayed out till 11 o'clock one time when she was about 8 years old. And we had the whole neighborhood looking for her and we couldn't find her. And she pulls up in a van because she done went on another street and played with a little girl over there. And the mother brought her home, and I didn't even know where she was. I had just called the police to report her missing, and then she pulls up laughing and joking with Candy. So when she got in the house, I beat her ass because I told her, don't go off the street. And girl, you almost made me have a heart attack. So what I told that young person at work, I said, I know you don't want to hear me. I know you don't believe me. But if you rule your kids with fear, as soon as they're not scared of you, child, they're going to be whooping your ass. You know, and y'all, I'm not sitting here at all saying that, when I was raising them, it was easy, that I knew I had all the answers. I did not. And if they're on here, they will tell you that I did not. I made mistakes. But this is what I tell my kids all the time. When I had my son, y'all, I was 22 years old. I got pregnant when I was 21, and I had him the month after I turned 22. I didn't know nothing about nothing. Basically, I learned on the job. And all I can say to my kids is I did the best that Rachel knew how to do. You know, I did the best that I knew how to do. Did I make mistakes? Of course I did. Do I have a problem now that they're grown with the mistakes that I did? Nope. Because I know that everything that they needed, love, compassion, all of that stuff was there. So I consider it a win. Now, what they go out in life and do with what I gave them, that's up to them. They're trying to tell me now, Mom, we grown. Stay out of our business. Quit calling us 50, 11 times. Quit texting us. Don't be crying when we don't return your call. Because, y'all, I can text these old people. And if they don't text me back, I'm sitting here crying. Oh, they don't love me no more. They don't forget about me. My son stood in my kitchen about a week ago, and he told me to get a grip. He said, basically, Mom, just what I told y'all. He said, look, you gave us all this stuff. You told us to go out in the world and using it. Now we're using it. Now you're crying. Y'all, mothers, parents are not perfect. We make mistakes just like everybody else. What I want y'all to do when y'all see these people out here going in on these parents, just keep that in mind. I'm not telling you to windmill out in the streets for them, but keep it in mind. All of you who are sitting in my chat, the 11 that are watching now, I'm pretty sure when your parents were raising you, they made mistakes too. They did stupid, they messed up something, but are we supposed to be considered? Now, I'm talking about good parents, not parents that's, not feeding the kids, clothing them, and beating them and all that stuff. Are we supposed to feel bad now that you are an adult that we made mistakes? I mean, really. My mother even tells me when I used to go to her for advice about one of my kids, my mother she would tell me all the time. She would say, Rachel, I don't really want to give you advice. This is what I want you to do. She said, think back to the things when I was raising you that you thought worked and use those. She said, only you know the things that I was trying to teach you that didn't work. She said, then don't use those. And she said, that's the best advice that I can give you. So, y'all, I am calm now. I'm going to get off here. I appreciate you, 11 people, 12. It was teetering back and forth watching. Because, like I said, I don't do these lives. I'm just tired of the fake concern because I actually believe that the reason why these people are dragging kids is because they don't like their parents. I just don't like that dragging of kids. That's all, y'all. I'm gonna get back out here in these streets with y'all. Y'all, I know y'all see me in these chats. I have my favorites. I have people, and I'm not gonna apologize for that. I'm like James Colwell. I'm of a certain age. You're not gonna tell me who to like, who not to like, and what I should and should not do. I'm gonna get out here and I'm gonna get in the streets. I'm gonna visit the people that I feel are mature and put out good content. I even watch some of the younger ones that when I go into their chat, here's a young man now that is just trying to get to 1,000 that I actually like. I think he's cute. He reminds me a lot of my little brother, and I just something about him I like that QB of the Midwest. I actually like him. And I think this young man is in his 20s or something. It's something about him that I just find adorable and I watch him. So y'all, let's get back out in these YouTube streets and see what's going on. Child, I need to cook me something to eat. Y'all take care. Thanks for coming over and watch. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye now.